welcome you all. Thank you for being here today. Hope you're all having a wonderful day, beautiful, blessed day. You know, hopefully it only gets better from here on out. That's what I always like to say, and I truly wish that for all of you. I got a couple different notes. I got a couple different things I wanted to go over today. So with B.E.S.T, they teach us about the 6 essentials, and I've mentioned those before, and I told you that we'd get more into it and we'd talk more about them. So I figured today would be a great day to talk about the 6 essentials. And then on top of that, we would also maybe do some vocabulary. Yay! No. Everybody's favorite. Well, maybe it probably is some people's favorite. But no, I just wanted to maybe go over certain words and definitions. Like the other day, we were talking about proxy. I'm going to get into the 6 essentials that they teach with B.E.S.T. They say these are the 6 essentials of life. These are the 6 most important aspects of life that you want to focus on. What you eat. Now, diet, we can go into that. That's, I would say, somewhat of a no-brainer or simple. We all know that diet has big effects. If you're putting in video editing or in some of the work I've done, we have a saying, garbage in, garbage out. And I would say the same thing with your diet. You're eating junk food and fast food all the time. It's like that one movie, or not movie, documentary, Super Size Me. He eats nothing but McDonald's for 30 days and goes to the doctors, and doctors are like, you need to quit this or you're gonna die. Like, this is not good for you. And so yeah, diet is huge for myself. I have it in a nice cool little cup with my name on it, but I like Herbalife. I am not the world's greatest cook. I'm still learning, but Herbalife is something that when I'm in a hurry, I can just blend up a shake and I can go. They've also got wonderful vitamins. They've actually got a complete package, which is a cellular nutrition, a multivitamin, and then your shake. If you're looking to gain weight, you continue eating 3 meals a day while having your shake. And if you want to lose weight, you substitute the shake for a meal. Usually I have my shake for breakfast. They have a lot of wonderful flavors. Today I'm drinking wild berry. But what you eat is super important. What you drink, again, equally important. If you're drinking alcohol, which I just saw a study the other day that said the alcohol is one of the most harmful drugs. Somebody else in the comment was like, well, no, duh. Maybe it's a no-brainer, maybe it isn't, I don't know. But to me, yeah, alcohol, I drink very few and far between. I can't even remember the last time I had a drink. I usually say I drink once in a blue moon. But that's something that I just personally I don't really care for, so I haven't, done a lot of it. It's not my cup of tea, I guess. I have, gone out and drunk with friends or, for a celebration, had a toast, that kind of thing. But so what you drink, again, are you drinking soda every day? Do you have 12 Mountain Dews, or do you have 1 Mountain Dew and three or four water bottles? Like, what you drink is super important, and that ties with what you eat. I would say that kind of goes into diet. What you drink and what you eat are the same thing, but yeah, it's huge. What you drink is definitely important. So what you eat, what you drink, how you exercise, even exercising, that's super important. And I was watching a Joe Rogan thing where he was talking about, this person said, oh, they don't have the energy to work out, and he's like, that's bullshit. You could go to YouTube. There's thousands of inspirational videos. You can watch one of those and get pumped up, raise your energy level, as well as, just going on a walk. I know for myself, sometimes when I'm talking on the phone, I will pace back and forth. Now, the reason why most people pace when they're on the phone is because walking helps to stimulate thinking, from what I've read and from what my studies say. And so even in my graphic arts class, they said if you're stuck on an idea and you can't, you've kind of hit a brick wall, you've done a bunch of different designs and none of those designs are really working out, go for a walk. Change your scenery, change, your movement. Instead of sitting here in a chair, go walk around, move around, get physical, get active. Even in laughter yoga, we've talked about the lines that divide you. Well, it's this one, and then one down, like I said, about your belly button. And crossing those lines help to stimulate, energy flow. And so moving, exercise, how you move. Do you do yoga in the morning? Do you, again, just take your dog for a walk? That's usually my exercise, just getting the dog out. I do have some weights that I lift a little bit, but I'm not. I'm learning about weight training and I'm learning about moving my body in those ways. So exercise is super important. You want to stay healthy. Every time I go see my doctor, they're like, "Oh, are you exercising?" Because that is a key thing. We do want to exercise. How you rest. Are you getting 8 hours of sleep a day? I've read some studies that some people don't need 8 hours and some people need more than 8 hours. It depends. I would say it's kind of the same thing as diet. You get some people that are into this big KO diet or paleo diet. You got all these different diets. Find the one that works for you. And maybe dieting isn't the proper word, but find a food plan, if you will, that supports your life and your body style. Like I said, I found Herbalife because I wasn't eating super healthy. I was going to fast food for lunch, or sometimes even skipping breakfast. Where now I have a nice Herbalife shake and I can feel a difference. They also have a wonderful tea. I usually drink the tea too, and awesome. So, how you rest? Are you going until you're completely exhausted and then you're laying down and sleeping and then dragging yourself out of bed? That's probably not very good. Instead of, and I don't know what your life's like, but say if it was me, and I usually at night will play video games a little bit with my friends. Maybe log off the video games an hour early. But yeah, how you rest. You want to be well rested. Even going back to the walking, and it helps stimulating thinking and mental clarity. Rest does the same thing. I know for myself, I've not gotten enough rest. I've been groggy and tired and can't think clearly. So rest. And even maybe it's taking a nap in the middle of the day. Maybe for your work, you got to wake up super early. And with your kids, I don't know what your schedule's like, but maybe if there's a moment in the day where you can slip in a half-hour nap, or a quick power nap. I even read military or special forces, what they'll do is they'll elevate their legs. They'll put them up on the cot and lay down on the floor, if you would, or maybe on their backpack, knapsack. I don't know if that's right. Anyway, and they'll put their feet up, lay there. If I remember right, the blood all goes out of the feet and into the brain, and it helps. More blood in the brain helps stimulate the thinking and the cognitiveness of it, as well as it. Again, I don't fully remember, but something with it basically helps them sleep because their brains has more blood in it, and so they can take a quick 10-15 minute nap, and it makes it feel like they had a nice longer half hour, hour maybe nap, 45 minute, I don't know, but it makes you feel more rested, I guess, is the short of it. And so if you can, maybe power nap, maybe just a quick little bit. I don't Rest, very important. There is another study, and I believe it's under the title of a Russian sleep study. But they took some prisoners and they said you can win your freedom if you can stay up for like a month or 3 months straight. It was quite an extension, and I'm not going to get too into it because it got pretty dark. But these people that didn't get any rest basically went crazy and hurt or killed themselves. We need rest. I even saw a study that was doctors or scientists were saying that we spend 1/3 of our life in, say, dreamland or dreaming, if you will, and so they think that that's an alternate dimension that we go to. That's another place that's just as important as this place, if you would. I I don't know. You know, again, I encourage you to look into this yourself. This stuff fascinates me. I think it's awesome stuff. Okay, and then what and how you breathe. Okay, so do you smoke cigarettes? Do you smoke marijuana? Do you work in a paint shop and inhale paint fumes all day, or work around pesticide and you're inhaling pesticide all day? What is it that you do? Where are you? What and how you breathe. Do you take a lot of shallow breaths? Do you take deep breaths? Do you breathe in with your chest? I know I saw myself breathing in with my chest. You want to breathe in with your stomach. Because when your lungs push down against your squishy organs, it's fine. Your lungs can expand and kind of push your gut or your stomach a little bit down, and But when you breathe with your chest, your lungs run into your rib cage, heart, bones, and they don't have any place to go. It just expands to a certain extent, and that's why you even see my chest rise, but it's not a proper way of breathing. So again, what and how you breathe. That's super important. Again, do you smoke cigarettes? Do you do any of that stuff? Are you breathing noxious fumes? Any and all that stuff matters. How or what you breathe definitely matters. Do you live in a place with a lot of smog and congestion? Do you live in a place with, you know, high oxygen levels? You live in the forest, lots of trees around you. That stuff matters. And last of the six essentials, most important of the six essentials, is what you think. What you think, there's a great saying, think about what you think about while you think about it. Awesome, awesome. Again, when I first heard that, I was like, think about what I think about while I think about it? How do I think all that? That was a head scratcher, if you will, for me. And again, I've mentioned this before, but in my mind, there was a scene where this guy's running down a hallway and he jumps out a window and the building explodes. And it wasn't from any particular movie. It wasn't really anything that I could pinpoint. It was just something I was thinking about. And I stopped and was like, why am I thinking about that? And then it kind of that eureka, think about what you think about while you're thinking about it. It's like, oh, huh. Okay, I get that now. Think about what you think about while you're thinking about it. So what you think is super important. Great book that helped me with that is As a Man Thinketh. And it talks about you can either, depending on what you think, you either grow weeds or you grow a beautiful garden, flowers and beauty. It's that same concept of it's, I believe, Native American. I'm not sure. I want to say Navajo. Could be Cherokee or one of the other ones, but they talk about two wolves are inside you, and one is anger and bitterness and despair and hatred, and the other one's love, joy, empathy. Here, let's throw this up here. Levels of consciousness. Bam, right here. So one wolf is over here in this part, and one wolf is down here in this part. Grandkid goes to his grandfather to say the village elder, the shaman or the wise man, if you would, and he says, I feel like I have this internal conflict, and he explains it as wolves, and he says, what do I do, or how do I know which one's gonna win? And the village elder replies, well, whichever one you feed. And that's really what they talk about in As a Man Thinketh is, one, it's important what you think, and then two, how to cultivate a positive mindset. And part of that, I've talked about it before, you have the itty bitty icky committee, or you have the negative thoughts, however you'd like to say that. You have that in your mind. You have this naysayer, if you will. And the way that I picture it, is, and I'm a very visual person, so I do actually kind of visualize this, and it's, almost like me standing at the center of the room. There's other me's, if you will, or aspects of myself, all down below. And every now and then one of them, well, not every now and then, they're always talking and blah, 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 blah. But, and I get better at this. I was not like mastered this overnight. This was definitely a process. But, I would get one that says, oh, you're not good enough. You're too stupid to do that. Nobody's going to watch your Twitch stream. You have nothing good to say. And as those thoughts pop up, I dismiss them. Now, the way, again, I'm visual, so I picture myself standing kind of, I guess, at a podium, and parts of me stand up and say, I think blah, 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 or I think you're not good enough. We're not good enough. It doesn't say I, it's we, because this is me. This is, the good wolf, if you will, and the bad wolf, and, they both pipe up at times, and I'm sitting there listening to them. And he says, you're not good enough, you're too stupid to do a Twitch stream. And I just say, no, I'm not going to listen to that. You're fired. Please leave the room. And I picture literally that small voice, or maybe that wolf, turning and walking out a door in my head and closing it and never coming back. And they do come back, unfortunately, or maybe it's a new naysayer or false belief that pops up. I don't know. I wouldn't say struggle, but I fight. I fight that daily. I have my own negative thoughts that say that I'm not this or I'm not that, and sometimes I'll be honest, they're kind of right. Like I'm not super buff. I couldn't bench press 200 pounds, and so there are certain times where that naysayer will be like, you're not physically able to do that. Like I might say, watch Ninja Warrior and go, oh, that's awesome. Kind of pump me up. I want to do that. And then there's a little part of my brain that says, nah, whoa, I don't think we can do that, or you can't do that. And they're right. I'm not physically capable of. So then but I want to be able to do that. So I then start working out. I go get some weights. But I have this, naysayers, if you will, and that's okay. I acknowledge it and I listen to it. And if it's not valid, I dismiss it and I say, no, you're fired. Get out of here. And there's other times where I go, oh, maybe they're right. Maybe I need to do a little bit more studying. Maybe I need to go back to my notes and review them, or take a refresher course. Maybe I need to, find a thing online to help me to learn this, or like typing. I used to be a PEC typer, and I believe it's just typing.com. Great website. Has a bunch of little games, shows you where to keep your fingers on the keyboard, the home row, if you will, and it teaches you how to type. I was not a strong typer, and so when that naysayer came up and said, you can't type, I go, well, you're right. What are we going to do about that? And I went and did something about that. So, again, what you think is super powerful. Again, I would say it's the most powerful out of the 6 essentials. What you eat, what you drink, how you exercise, how you rest, what and how you breathe, and what you think. That is the 6 essentials that we teach with B.E.S.T, and I definitely work on them and implement them daily. Like I said, sometimes I might not have got enough sleep the night before, or I might have over exerted myself, and so I need more sleep. I need to go to bed earlier. Part of that's checking in, listening to my body. I've talked about that before. Just kind of quieting your mind the best you can, and checking in. How do things feel? Is there any pain? Even taking a deep breath, like, can I feel it in my lungs or my ribs? Any of that stuff. Just checking in and seeing how I'm doing. It's awesome. So that's the 6 essentials with B.E.S.T. What you eat. Again, are you eating junk food? Are you eating healthy food? Maybe instead of going for a Big Mac, go get a salad. I don't know. That sounded cliche. Sorry. But there's some truth to it. What you drink. Are you drinking soda all day? Are you drinking alcohol? I mean, there's a big everything means something and plays a role in the overall picture. How you exercise. Are you exercising? How you rest. Are you getting enough rest? What and how you breathe. Again, are you a smoker? Are you living in an area with high oxygen or a lot of smog? Breathing, what you breathe, definitely has an impact on it. Even with exercise, are you exercising in a room, exercising while smoking cigarettes? I've seen people do it, and back in the day I might have thought, man, what a badass, but now I'm like, whoa, I would not want to do that to my body. But I've educated myself, I've learned, I've seen what this does. So what you think is very powerful. Probably, again, the most powerful. Highly recommend As a Man Thinketh. It's not necessarily for men or women. It's just, that's the title of the book. It's helping you to realize maybe not a better way of thinking, but just how to think. Again, I thank you all for being here. I'm going to sign off. Got to take my dog on a walk and do a few other things, as well as edit this video, or yesterday's video, for today, and so on and so forth. So again, I won't be on tomorrow. I'm going to go hang out with my son go help him out at his school. I will probably be back on next Friday though, and maybe with a different schedule. So I think my dog's even excited. He would walk. Anyway, thank you again for being here. Thank you. Um, I appreciate it. Hope you have a blessed day.